Hey, it's Aaron, and today we're in a 2022 Hyundai Elantra N. So the N and the N line, they're two separate packages. The N is the topmost or uppermost Elantra model. The N is based on the Limited and then adds a lot of the sport package stuff from the N line, plus a couple of things that you can't get with the N line. So I talked a little bit about that on the walk around with this car, and then on the interior we'll see a handful of things that are different, but not very many. Most of them are on the steering wheel and in the seats and a couple of other places in this car. Otherwise, it is a Hyundai Elantra on the interior in the Limited package, so that's the amount of stuff you'll see. A couple things that are missing from this car that I don't believe are available at all. That includes adaptive cruise control and the little tablet thing on the left side of the gauge cluster. I'll talk about that in a minute. So yeah, let's do the interior walkthrough. Let's start where we normally start and walk around. So starting over here on the left side, this door here you're seeing, this is the window lock. Here's the windows for the back and the front. Here's the door locks themselves. This is you select your mirror here and you adjust the side mirrors with that. This of course is the door handle. You can see they're kind of I want to say a nickel color. It's not silver, so it's very nickel. Beautiful dark nickel. I don't see this in cars very often, and I wish I did see it more often. Over here you can see the dimmers. You can see the lane keeping assist. You also have a button similar to this on the steering wheel. I'll talk about the differences. This is straight up lane keeping alert, so it doesn't keep you in the lane, but it alerts you about it. The other button on the steering wheel does this, plus it holds you in the lane and so on. And then here's the squirrely button for traction control. This is the 2-pedal model down there, 2 pedals and a really good dead pedal. There is a 3-pedal, a manual 6 available for this. I wish I'd gotten it to test, but I didn't. I ended up with the automatic. Going to the steering wheel. It's raining outside, so if you hear pitter patter, that's what that is. Over here we have the kind of the driver information screen stuff. Here's the voice activation, which is pretty good but not great. Volume here, track selection here. It is Kia, so it's backwards. You go down to go to the next song, up to go back. Telematics for your telephone over here. Star button. When you hear something, a track or whatever that you really like, you hit this button, you star it. Yeah. Now this button is the drive mode control. That's the other one. They work together. You push this one and it goes down through the drive modes. Okay, specifically what this one does is it selects the N mode or the custom mode. Over here you've got the like normal ones, so you got sport, eco, normal, sport, right? Those all show up on that driver information screen up there. So you can use this to select a quick mode, and you can use this to kind of go to your custom ones and or customize from what's selected over there. So there you go. And then over here we have mostly cruise control stuff and also driver information screen stuff. I think I said that about this. This is track controls, sorry. So I think I said driver information and I meant infotainment. Over here is driver information stuff. Menus are up here, up and down, and OK right here. So you push it for OK, you go up and down through the menus. Now over here, this turns on cruise control. This is the lane keeping assist, keeps you centered in the lane. Does a pretty decent job on the highway. Outside of that, I don't know how useful it is. I haven't used it around town. I've just been turning it off. It does get kind of annoying, so yeah. On the highway it's great, but when you're around town, not so much. This is your up and down for cruise. So when you turn on the cruise, that sets it, or you can flip either one of these to set it, and then you add to it right there and you subtract right there. This is the pause and / cancel and resume button. So if you turn it off with the brake pedal, you can still resume it from here. Over here is your paddle shifting. That one goes up, this one goes down. Over here is your dongle. So this is the lighting. You can see it right there going up and down for the lighting. Pushing it, lifting it like this, that is the signal turns. Use them in that order. And then your bright lights back and forth like that. Over on this side, you have washer wipers. So over here we have how intense you want them to be, and there is a button there is a thing on the other side, so you can grab both of them and turn that. Up and down with this select, so like that's a one-off, and then you can go down to those by clicking. And then there is no back, but you can turn, or you can pull it towards you. I mean to say, you can pull it towards you, and that will do the squirters. So there you go for that. Now, let's look at this screen. This is the gauge cluster. I'm getting a little bit of glare. Let me see if I can get rid of that. There we go. No, yeah, there we go. All right, gauge cluster. Over on the left, you can see the speedometer. Over on the right, I can't get my finger in here and let go of the, I'm trying to keep the sun out of the camera lens. Over here is a tachometer on the right. In the middle is the driver information screens. You can see kind of what's going on right here. I have it on the digital one. Down at the very bottom, that's fuel economy. And then you can see at the bottom of the right-hand gauge is your engine heat, specifically your coolant heat. And over on the left is fuel. I put a fair number of miles on this car. Did a lot of driving. It was surprisingly fun. I'll get more into that later. So I'm gonna have to let a little bit of glare and then go through these driver info screens with you. So pushing just the menu button at the top of the stuff, you can see it's going across the menu that's at the top there. So here's some stuff that's going on. Now you can go down and you can go through all the the different things with the up and down arrows. This is a fun little screen. Shows you G-forces as you're driving. If you're doing some performance for fun, there you go. I'll get into it more later, but please don't try to pink slip this car. You will lose the car. It is a fun sports car. It's not a race car. Yeah, and just a few other screens you can see on this one. You can flip through and you can look at trip information and stuff like that. This is actually my trip. So this is the mileage I put on it. And you can see my average MPGs, which have been okay, not great, but I've been hitting the NGS button that I forgot to talk about. I'll go back to it. I've been hitting that NGS button a lot. So, going to the grin factor. Let's just talk about that button now. That's down here. NGS stands for N Grin Shift. Okay? N is the performance brand, Grin Shift. I've been calling this the fart button because the primary attribute it has is it causes the exhaust to do the back pressure farts that everybody that's into like the Tokyo Drift kind of thing loves. It's honestly, it's kind of useless. It does help speed up the car a little bit, but most of the time, honestly, my most used thing for this button has been freeway off ramps, because it forces the RPM up to about 4,000, and that allows you to do use the engine as a brake for slowing down, going down an on-ramp, as if I had a manual transmission and could just be downshifting. So that's really what I've been using it for the most. It only lasts for a few seconds. It only runs for, I think it's about 15 seconds. And then there's about a 30-second cooldown. Waiting for it, and that's to let the turbo and the other stuff cool off. It's gimmicky, but it is kind of fun because like a friend of mine said, Fred said, "Oh, that's the instantly piss off the HOA button," because it just makes the car way louder than it is otherwise, and it's already got a pretty good little purr going on just sitting. So yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's a good button. So, NGS button, or AKA fart button. All right, moving along. Oh, I forgot to point this out. This screen does nothing. There you go. This screen does nothing. This is on some Hyundai models, this is like a phone-sized screen that has some quick info or quick access menu stuff on it. In this car, it's just that. It doesn't do anything. Now let's go over here. Over here you got your push button start. You can see the sport pedals down there. And then you can see the infotainment. And hi, other camera. I'm in the school parking lot. Yes, I'm sitting in a school parking lot waiting for my kid and talking about this car. So here is the information screen. Right now it is showing pretty much nothing, but you have some hard buttons across here you can go with, or you can touch the screen, flip through, right? So over here you can see all the different things you can do, including N mode. N mode gives you lots of performance information. It's a pretty neat screen. It's worth looking at. You can set a circuit, you can time yourself. It tells you how much brake pressure you're using, tells you all the info on the what's happening with the engine and so on. So if I goose it a little, you can see what's happening there. Neat screen, lots of fun to check this out. And then over here you got your G-force and a bunch of other stuff. So here's the mode you're in and a few other things. You can change suspension. This does have adaptive suspension and adaptive dampers, which is something that the N line does not have. You can only get it with this. You can see there's a launch control, a bunch of other stuff, so you can fiddle around with this, come up with all kinds of cool things for this. Otherwise, it is a standard Hyundai Elantra screen, so you can see at a school, here's the nav info. I would turn on radio, but it would start playing, same with media. Tracks back and forth. You can volume control here, and you can push that to mute. Star, which is very important in the Hyundai system, because when you star things, it shows them so that you can jump to them if they show up. That's individual songs, bands, whatever. And then your setup screens over here, pretty standard fare. I don't know that you need to know every little detail in there, but there you go. You can do some work to set things up. Now below that is temperature control, stuff I never turned off actually. So you can see auto mode like that, turn it off like that. You have dual, so you can go back and forth each side. These are fan and so on. And then down here, here's your bun warmers. Here's the defrosts. Here's recirc and intake. And here's the other bun warmer. Down here, you can see there's a 12 volt there, USB-A and USB power only right there. And then a spot to put your phone. It does not have wireless charging. Over here's another drive mode selector. Works exactly like the one on the right hand side of the wheel right there. Then you can use your rear camera at will using that button. Just shows it on the screen. That's it. And then you can toggle it back off. Shifter is this pretty standard pattern. This is the automatic. Again, there is a 6-speed manual, but I didn't get to drive it. And then you can go down and force it into manual like that. Now you can use the paddle shifters or this thing to go up and down the gears. Pretty neat. Trigger is on the front. Down here, proper sports car. Gotta have a handbrake. There you go. Here is your drink holders. Pretty good size. They work pretty well. Yeah, for most drinks. And then you have a little storage bin right here with a shrinker for this, right? So it makes it smaller and taller. So if you got like a I don't know, an energy drink, it will fit in there. And then here's your storage cubby, which is half decent, but it doesn't have any extras in it. It's just a storage cubby. There's like that. So then you got an OMG bar right here for the passenger to grab onto. A la the Corvette, right? These are showing up in a few Hyundai vehicles. They kind of separate the driver and front passenger. I got my camera bag here, but I want to talk about the seats, so I should move this so I can talk about the seating. There we go. This seat, these are N seats. This part lights up. The seats are specific to the N package. Lots of heavy bolstering, especially right here. So much so that I barely get my fat butt across here. I'm 6'3" and 250 plus pounds, and I fit in here very, very snugly. Almost to the point of being uncomfortable, but not quite. I think most people will love these seats. They feel really good. They kind of hold you, they grab, they feel really good. And then you can see kind of the design going on in here, the motif. So you got this kind of faux suede happening, and you got the stripes and the stuff going on, and wonderful stereo in here. Pretty good interior. This is soft-ish plastic, kind of rubberized, and this down here is the hard plastic. Then, oh, that was professional. Then going pit to the back seats back there is my tripod. Those are pretty good seats. So all in all, you kind of get all the good points of the Hyundai Elantra. And then as far as the interior and the feel, then you get some upscale add-ons that are nice, that I really like. And you get a great stereo. Downsides, lots of road noise, a little bit of wind noise, not a lot. Lots of road noise though. This is a sports car. It is meant to be a sports car, which means you get lots of road coming in through from the wheels. This has very, very sticky summer tires on it. This has front wheel drive and a very it's a very tight suspension. So all the sound translates into the cabin. There's nothing trying to cushion that. That means it's fairly loud on the road. Now, wind noise is not too loud. You don't get a whole lot of that. Mostly what you're getting is road noise coming up, which means that on a normal drive on the highway with the stereo on, you'll hear the road, but not like you would if there was a lot of wind as well. So they did a good job sound dampening wind. There's nothing you can do about the road. It is a sport suspension. It's very tight. There's nothing to stop the vibration coming in. So on that note, this is a quick little car. It's, I believe it's 270 horsepower, if I remember right, 289 pound-feet of torque. It's a 2-liter turbocharged 4. Has a wonderful exhaust note, a little purr going on. You maybe hear that in the background right now. Nice little purr. And it's a very, very tight steering, tight feel, holds to the road pretty well, but it's not terribly quick. My 0 to 60s were nowhere in the upper end sports car range. It would be competitive with maybe a Subaru BRZ Toyota 86, but it would not be at the same level as, say, a GR or any of those. Now, I would probably say that this could be competitive with the Honda. I forget what they call that, but the Honda little sports car would be competitive with that. Maybe with a WRX, but I don't think it would keep up with a WRX. But it's in that realm. This is where they're aiming. So what it is it's a stock sports car. It is a stock car with all the stuff and sound and the look that the kind of rice burning sports fanatics love. It doesn't have a giant wing. It has a nice little subtle one instead that's even better. It has a whole lot of great look on the outside, and it has enough performance that it feels good and is fun to drive. In fact, I was really surprised. I didn't expect much out of this car. I expected it was going to be a crap sport package with some stiff suspension, and that was it. It was just going to be another one of those wannabe sports cars. But honestly, this is a very engaging car. It is lots of fun to rip around in. Like I said, don't pink slip it. You will lose your car. But you can have a lot of fun with this car. So don't take it racing. Just have fun with it. All right. So there you go. That's about what I got. This has been the interior for the 2022 Hyundai Elantra N. This has been Aaron. Talk to you again soon. Subscribe.